So, come Saturday night, I'm coming in here to beat his. He gonna come, he gonna be tough, strong, but I'm coming to whoop his. I stand by that. I stand by that. I'm him up. Yeah.
False accusation.
You gotta think, right? It's okay.
Accusation.
I can't wait to beat this clown, bro. This dude is a clown.
Focus on me.
You better have that chin ready, baby. You better have it ready.
Real clown.
I already figured your ass out.
You not fighting.
What else you got, man?
Yo, senior, you're
I only
not
seen
in the
10
ring.
seconds of your fight.
I seen you fight before.
I only
You
seen
can't
10
fight.
seconds of your fight. You're boring as hell.
Come on, bro. Stop it, bro.
Boring, man. You almost got knocked out. Even your daughter said you got knocked out.
Knocked out. Tio got hurt his last fight too.
Ooh.
Didn't he get hurt his last fight?
Man, if it wasn't for those ropes.
Did Tio get hurt his last fight?
My son don't be throwing punches,
Did Tio
man.
get hurt his last fight?
My son don't be throwing punches,
I paid
man.
attention.
That's the real fight before the fight, not fists, but focus. If Teofimo lets ego drive, Shakur will quietly take the wheel. If discipline cracks, the scorecards won't lie. Drop your prediction below, hit like, subscribe, and let's see whose mindset survives fight night. This wasn't supposed to be that kind of press conference. No tables flipped, no microphones thrown, no viral meltdown planned on the schedule. On paper, it was meant to be polite promotion, two elite fighters exchanging respectful nods before a high-stakes showdown. But the moment Shakur Stevenson and
I think that he did some great things against them guys. I seen a lot of weaknesses in his game too, and something that he said earlier, he said, Tio never lost to Southpaw. Well, I never lost to Orthodox. So, it ain't no different, but
The difference is you never fought no elite fighter.
Okay, I don't think y'all did either.
Oh, so you gotta show it, baby.
I don't think
pressure's
y'all
on
did
you.
either. I ain't see.
Not on my son.
I ain't see Lomachenko throw no punches.
You've
for
never
6
been on a
rounds.
big stage like this.
I didn't see Lomachenko throw punches
You've
for
never
6
been
rounds.
on a big stage like
I
this.
didn't see Lomachenko throw punches
'Cause we
for 6
froze him.
rounds. Okay, you gonna see.
We're gonna freeze you too.
You better not.
So I see their weakness. That's what I do. You know, we broke the code with with Loma that nobody had ever done. You know, we didn't let him get comfortable in there. You saw that, you know, within like 8 rounds, he didn't know what to do. I did the same thing with Josh Taylor, and we're gonna do the same thing with Shakur.
Real hard.
Man, what do you say to that, bro? Like, you hear him, bro? I just can't wait to beat him and shut him up, bro. Tio not on this level. Tio is a high-level fighter, but he's not on my level. I'm an elite level fighter, and come January 31st, I'm gonna show.
Teofimo Lopez sat down in the same room, the temperature changed. The air got heavier. The smiles felt rehearsed. And the tension. Oh, that tension was screaming louder than any trash talk. Because this wasn't just hype. This was a psychological Cold War disguised as a press event. And just when it looked like verbal jabs were about to turn into ego grenades, Terence Crawford stepped in not as a promoter, not as a hype man, but as the adult in the room delivering a warning that landed harder than a left hook. From the jump, the energy was deceptive. Shakur came in calm, composed, almost bored, the kind of quiet that unsettles loud personalities.
Come fight night against Teofimo Lopez than I was against Zepeda. 1,000 times better. Faster, sharper, stronger, mentally more on point, and I can't wait.
You said a couple of times now you see some holes in Teofimo's game. I know you don't want to give away your game plan at the kickoff press conference, but where are the weaknesses? Where are some of the weaknesses in his game?
A lot of the weaknesses is in his mental. I think it's more mental than anything, and I'm going to expose it.
Thanks for the reminder, Chris. This place is special. I think when this fight was talked about, I think both Shakur and Teofimo Lopez need a huge amount of credit for making this fight. Both of the guys are the respective kings of their division. Teofimo Lopez, the #1 guy at 140. Shakur, the #1 guy at 135. And when I heard about this fight, I didn't expect it to happen. And you know, the work that His Excellency's done, Ring Magazine, to make this fight quite sensational. But the icing on the cake is to see the fight at Madison Square Garden. This is, for me, the absolute mecca of boxing.
Teofimo, on the other hand, was buzzing with bravado, cracking jokes, smirking, poking, prodding. On the surface, it looked like confidence, but beneath it, restlessness. The kind that needs attention, the kind that needs control of the room. And Shakur noticed. Of course he did. Stevenson didn't bark. He didn't shout. He didn't reach for easy insults. Instead, he did something far more dangerous. He observed. He let Teofimo talk. He let the energy rise, and then, with surgical precision, he slid in comments that weren't loud, just lethal.
This fight is the first step of a crazy map of boxing next year and the beginning of 27. This is not an easy fight. Thank you.
Crawford in the past, and Crawford stated, "Oh, you only got to me."
Yeah, but he really
Shakur
wanted to
first.
fight Crawford, and we're gonna call him out after we beat up his boy. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
that's still the game plan.
That's
Even
the
though
game
you guys
plan.
have, even if he requires you,
Well, he
guys
ain't
go
gonna
up.
fight us, man. He ain't gonna fight us, man. We've been chasing this guy for the longest. My son is even willing to go up to 160 to fight him, you know? Listen, speed kills. You know what I'm saying? Speed kills, and that's why we're gonna beat Shakur. He ain't faster than us, and we're gonna catch him. We're gonna catch him. We do this for the legacy. So I tell my son, that when I told him, let's go after Colmig, let's go after Lomachenko, let's go after Josh Taylor. And all of those three fights, he was the underdog. You know what I'm saying? And big time. I mean, with Josh Taylor, he was like 23 experts said that he was going to lose. So, and he gave an amazing performance, And it wasn't the same as the performance he gave with Barbosa's, Like, his styles have changed all the time. And that's the scariest part about him, And he comes to entertain.
He framed Teofimo as emotional, as reactive, as someone who fights feelings instead of patterns. And in boxing, that's not trash talk, that's a diagnosis. Teofimo fired back the only way he knows how. Dismissive bravado. He labeled Shakur boring, overrated. A safety-first fighter who runs instead of fights. The classic insult thrown at technicians when power punchers feel their spotlight threatened. But the more Teofimo talked, the clearer it became. This wasn't about style. This was about insecurity dressed up as swagger. And then came the interruption. Terence Crawford didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. When someone with Crawford's resume speaks, the room listens whether it wants to or not. His message to Teofimo was simple, calm, and devastating.
Did Shakur by any chance implement a bigger ring, or
We don't care about that,
No?
man. I mean, we're just gonna box this dude, man. We're not going in there for the knockout. We never do. The only fight that my son looked like sloppy was with Cambosis because he was dying in there. And, he said that he felt better when he was attacking more, But we never do that. We always box.
I look at Shakur like a fighter who has a blank canvas. He's got the IQ, he got the experience, and the athleticism and the skill set where he can paint any type of picture he wants to on a blank canvas. When I look at Teofimo Lopez, he's almost that. He has a blank canvas, but he needs an outline on what to draw and what to paint inside the line. Now, every now and again, he'll go away from the outline that he has and he'll do something dope and you'll be like, "Oh, that was cool. That wasn't on the outline right there." But I don't think that he can create on the fly like a Shakur Stevenson.
You can't outmind someone who thinks faster than you. Mind games don't beat skill. Emotion doesn't beat discipline. And if Teofimo walks into this fight trying to bully, rush, or overwhelm Shakur mentally, he's walking straight into a trap. Crawford made it clear Shakur doesn't panic. He doesn't bite on bait. He waits. He watches. And while emotional fighters burn energy trying to dominate moments, Shakur quietly wins minutes, seconds, exchanges. By the time you realize you're behind, you're already chasing shadows. That warning landed differently because Crawford isn't a commentator, he's been in those trenches. He's dismantled fighters who thought aggression alone could scare him, and he sees the same pattern forming here. Teofimo trying to control the narrative early because deep down, he knows control inside the ring won't be as easy. But Team Lopez wasn't backing down. Enter Teofimo Lopez Sr., a man who speaks with the confidence of someone who's lived inside championship chaos. According to him, this version of Teofimo isn't reckless, it's refined. The plan isn't just violence, it's intelligence. He insists they're no longer chasing knockouts like trophies, but instead hunting decisions with patience and adaptability.
What I think that Teo just painted outline by being as disrespectful as he can at the press conference because he wants to try to piss this kid off so the kid come fight with him. You understand me? Because with me, he have exactly what he wanted. As soon as I go in there, I'm coming straight to his head. You understand where I'm coming from? So, but I think that's what he's trying to get. Yeah, you feel me? But I think that's what he's trying to get Shakur to do. Because why would you say that to a person? What does that have to do with boxing? You feel me? He knows that Shakur has great feet, and he's not gonna be able to catch Shakur if he lets Shakur take his time to do what he does. So he got to try to make Shakur come in and try to kill him, which is what he just did at the press.
Just sparring him and then watching him, I always notice, I'm like, dang, when he, you know, if you really pay attention to when he spar, when he fight, he already know what you want to throw before you throw it. Not because he's some type of, you know, boxing guru or anything like that, but because he reading your body language. If you dip to this side, I'm already blocking for a possible hook or uppercut. You know, I don't need to worry about a jab or right hand, because you not, like, the probability of you throwing that is not even, you know. But so just watching him and sparring him, being in the ring with him, it's like, dang, you know, just him understanding what a person could throw based off their body positioning. It always put him like 2-3 steps ahead of his opponent.
To be fair, he has receipts. He points to the dismantling of Vasily Lomachenko, where Teofimo didn't just survive IQ, he matched it. He brings up the masterclass against Josh Taylor, a fight many thought was too risky. The message is clear. Underestimate Teofimo's brain at your own risk. But here's the twist. Confidence and calm are not the same thing. That's where the expert breakdown shifts the entire narrative. Veteran minds like Andre Ward and Roy Jones Jr. cut through the noise with a comparison that perfectly sums up the danger. Shakur Stevenson, they say, fights like a painter with a blank canvas. No script, no panic, just constant creation. He adjusts in real time, stroke by stroke, round by round. Teofimo, meanwhile, is explosive brilliance, but explosions still need timing. When the rhythm breaks, when the opponent refuses to give you emotional feedback, frustration creeps in. And frustration is exactly what this press conference felt like in disguise. Ward and Jones suggest that Teofimo's disrespect wasn't random, it was strategic. The goal? Drag Shakur into emotion, force him to react, make him abandon patience, turn a chess match into a street fight. Because if this becomes a thinking contest, the advantage tilts dangerously in Stevenson's favor. Then comes the most chilling insight of all.
So the most notable thing that come to mind is I remember when he fought Sander Martin. Like, every time he like threw a right hand to the body, he never had his lead hand up. Sander Martin was just check hooking him to death. I'm just like when he's just gonna make the adjustment, you know, when he gonna realize that he just keep getting hit with the right hook every time he tried to throw the right hand. So those are the small adjustments that he had to make, because, you know, sharp fighter, they gonna capitalize. So he gotta be on. It's the stuff that he's tightening up things for Shakur to prepare for him, but also in sparring, because, you know, he may have lagged during this last sparring. So it's a lot, but it's definitely doable. And you know, but this is, you know, the time is now. You know, at the end of the day, oh yeah, for sure, I feel like Shakur is gonna outbox him, and it's gonna be a point in time until he kind of get desperate, and that's when the gap is going wide, and then Shakur is just gonna, you know, come out with the clean.
Keith Colon, someone who has actually shared the ring with Shakur, explains why Stevenson looks so calm and why that calm terrifies sparring partners. According to Colon, Shakur doesn't just see punches. He reads posture, breathing, shoulder tension, foot placement. He predicts moves 2 or 3 steps ahead, not because he's guessing, but because opponents tell on themselves without realizing it. Colon points out something small but deadly. Teofimo's habit of dropping his lead hand. Not dramatically, not obviously, just enough. The kind of flaw casual fans never notice, but elite technicians feast on. Shakur doesn't need a knockout opening, he needs inches, seconds, repetition. And before you know it, rounds are slipping away quietly while the crowd is still waiting for fireworks. And that's why this press conference wasn't promotion. It was the opening round. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, share it with every boxing fan you know, and drop your prediction in the comments. Who wins, punishment or precision? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because when this fight explodes, you already know we'll be breaking it all down.